your attacks must affect you for you to reach a higher level of growth. Because your attacks is a representation of opposition. They must oppose what you currently believe in, what you currently stand for, the level of power you currently have. The attacks are coming in not from the person who actually sent it, but from a higher source, from a higher power. Because we wrestle not against flesh and blood, we're against higher principalities. So those attacks are not coming in to play lullaby with you. No, they're coming in to hit you so that you may be placed in a position where you have to choose. What would you do? It's the same thing in the Garden of Eden. You'll be placed in a position where you have to choose. And decision making is where 9 out of 10 of us fail.
But it's about seeing those attacks like that. Because a lot of people start to see the attacks like, my boss doesn't like me. Then you go home going, I'm going to lose my job. You got to change this. You got to change the way you see those attacks in. Because if you see it like as a way of growth, it changes the whole meaning. You're able to move forward because you know this is to better me. Yeah. A lot of people would go home and be like, oh, people don't like me at work, which causes people to not go to work and all this stuff. Yeah. So it's about changing the meaning of the attacks. Yeah.
In my mind, that's not attacks to me. That's their defense. They're defending their nothing. Yeah. And you know, the word is your sword. You know, so you just hit him with love, and you can't. Love's like you. I don't know. It's beautiful. You can't fight it. You can't fight love.
So are you attacking people with a sword of love? You're attacking people that are defending themselves with a sword. So I get what you're saying, and it 100% is truth. But the reason I use the word attack is because that's what the scripture refers to it. And matter of fact, that's the reason why we have a sword. That's the reason why we have an armor. Is because these attacks, yes, there are attacks. But the value and the meaning of it can be changed. And that's when your decision comes in. And you talked about the sword of love and being the most powerful sword you can have. And it's a battle. For us to not think of it as a battle is already doing us disfavor. Because we need to realize not only are we battling with our own minds so that we may be victorious, we are also battling to win the souls of those who are aiming at us.
Yeah, definitely. And with the mind management, just to, understand the lies and the truth. Like if it's not aligned with God, or if it's not aligned with who you are, then it's a lie. It's an attack. Yeah. So that's pretty black and white. Yeah. It's not complicated to understand what.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, if it's from fear or love.
Yeah, I would also just thank God for another opportunity to love someone, to just always be rejoicing. Yeah. And rejoice always in every situation. Just rejoice. And that rejoicing just overflows the negative.
When you let your light shine before men, they'll feel it. They'll light spreads into darkness. So you just have to keep that light, and you have to shine it. Yeah.
I love the fact that you use that terminology, shine your light. Yeah. In this very situation where you were getting blamed, you've gone in, you've managed your own mind, and you've come back in the midst of people. How do you shine back light to the people that blamed you? Because at that moment, their consciousness know there should be a spark. There should be there should be heat between the heads. It should be, everybody knows that they know that we've blamed this person and it wasn't them. You also know they've blamed you and it wasn't you. And usually what I've observed is at that moment there's usually some awkward silence, and nobody wants to approach to anybody. Nobody wants to say anything in that moment, because what to say is the next question I'll ask. What do you say? Yeah, what do you say?
I'll just be like, hey guys, look, there's a higher purpose than this. Like, well, you know, we can't let this stuff matter. What is it? Then what matters most, which is God. And yeah, we just can't. What to say to them?
Yeah, in the workplace, what would you say? Would you say God matters more? Because then you're building more haters now. That they're like, oh, then she's bringing in this God stuff again.
No, let's not be problem based. Let's be solution based. Let's, you know, we're not going to get anywhere if this is where our focus is. So let's work this out as a team.
Yeah.
You know, we can do this together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say, Sizzle?
Jess is my boss, and he's just yelled at me.
Yeah.
So I've just come from the bathroom. He's told me that I accidentally put the wrong invoices in or something. I'll just apologize. I'll say sorry for the misunderstanding. What can I do to solve the problem?
Yeah. Suppose I'm talking about the next stage afterwards, that because they've gone in, you've solved the problem is solved now. Now, this is where it's usually silent, because no one knows what's the next step to take.
Well, you make it awkward. If you make it awkward, it's going to be awkward. If you go back to normal and just get along, it's what you make it. And
that's the thing. The thing is, for those people that usually struggle in this situation, because when they come back in that scene, it's awkward now because they don't know where to start. Because of all the brawl and all the argument that took place and all the blaming that took place. Everybody's ego has risen to a higher level. People are looking at each other differently now. Everybody's silent. And then you walk into a room, and Bernadette mentioned about shining your light. So I said, how are we going to shine the light in that situation where the whole room is dead? What do you say? What do you say? Somebody is in that situation there. What should they say? And matter of fact, this will be someone's situation tomorrow. This very tomorrow, someone will be in that very situation. They won't know what to say.
Well, sometimes you don't need to say anything, just get the work done. You know, you're there to work, you're there to get the job done. Get along with your job.
Yeah.
If people talk to you, just don't overcomplicate it, don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Because if you overthink it, that's what's going to manifest.
Yeah.
Just, you've moved on, move on from it. It was a moment, that moment has passed.
That's a very good point. But the relationships now are in the broken stage. And I mean broken stage not because of your side, because we got to think that just because you feel like you've overcome the situation and you're cool with it and you've forgiven everybody and you're in love, doesn't mean everybody else is in that very state.
You're not there to be liked at work. If they don't like you, love them still. Just do your job. Get along with them.
Yeah.
If they talk to you, talk to them, say hi to them. You shouldn't be so worried about, are they gonna like me now? As long as you've made a mistake, you're human.
Yeah.
Still like them, still be cool with them, but don't be so concerned whether they like you or not, because
yeah, that's a very good point there.
Like, it just doesn't matter whether they like you or not, as long as you're not holding that resentment within you.
How come it doesn't matter? You use that's a very interesting way to look at it. How come it doesn't matter what people think of you?
Because let me think what I'm trying to say. If it matters what people think of you, it starts to control your life. Yeah. You start to do things differently to please them, and you cannot do that. No, it's fine if you want to. If you want people to control your life, that's fine. It's up to you. But for me, we're all connected, but I'm not attached.
Yeah.
Whether Jesse likes me playing soccer, I'm still going to play soccer.
Yeah.
His opinion on that topic doesn't matter to me. I respect his opinion.
Yeah.
And I love him still.
Yeah.
but I'm not attached, so I'm not going to change myself for people.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I hate them. That just means I'm not attached.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because your expectations aren't with them. Like, God gave you your expectations.
Yeah.
And with that expectations, you're just untouchable to deception, and you remember and you know who all these people are. And like, I guess in that awkward relationship or awkward moment, letting your light shine is just keeping that joy and that truth in you, and just living it out in every situation. And and if anyone comes to you or chats with you, or you get a chance to talk to somebody, it's always a chance to plant a seed into them, and just by your being, and and if they're just complaining or still venting out about the situation or looking into the past, is just like a perfect opportunity, to tell them that you have a higher purpose than this, and you shouldn't let what matters now compared to what matters the most, and then just share. It's just an opportunity to share and spread that love and truth into them.
You enjoyed our content? Thank you. If you want more, follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, and our website for more. If you love what we do, support us on Patreon, subscribe star, Crypto, and all links in the description below. Hey, RCTV, peace out.